y'all. Hey. Hey,
Hey
girl.
y'all, hey. Is it me or am I echoing?
I don't know.
Maybe it's that first couple of seconds. How y'all doing?
Hey. It's the
Hey.
baddest. Period.
It's about period. Knock your shit over as always. Period.
I am weak. How are y'all doing on this lovely Sunday?
Yes. It's 9 p.m. on a Sunday. I hope y'all are relaxing. I hope that y'all got y'all tea. I hope that y'all ready for some girl talk today.
Period. Because we have a treat for y'all.
Yeah.
So we're going to jump right into it.
Yeah.
So, do you want to introduce our guest
I,
co-host?
I do.
Okay.
So, y'all, today we have a special guest joining us. Hey, Bree! But we have a special guest joining us today. My line sister, our soror, Ariana. Y'all, she is Black excellence in its fullest form, okay? She's a social studies teacher. She's a nail tech. She owns Oh Wow Lips, all different types of lips oil, lip scrubs, all the good stuff that you need. Um, and she is also going to be our expert on how we can have healthy credit. Y'all, today we are talking about financial literacy, baby, and we brought only the best of the best because that's what we do around here.
Period.
Period.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, yes, we're
It's one
going to start.
o'clock. It's
Where?
1 o'clock.
Oh, I didn't even click invite, child. Look at me. But yes, so we're gonna have Ari talk about our first topic, and then we're gonna get into the next one.
Hey y'all.
Hey,
I
girl.
love that intro. That was amazing. That was a beautiful intro. I appreciate that.
Yes.
Thank you
Yes, and
so much.
y'all, while Ari is talking, I'm gonna be dropping all of her socials in
I don't know about
the comments, so y'all
expert,
please
but
follow.
thank you. I do not know about an expert. But yeah, let's definitely get into it because it's important for sure. It is definitely important. My students and I are going to definitely be talking about financial literacy coming up soon in the
Okay.
month of March, preparing them for JA Biztown. Georgia Southern has a great program for that, which they do the financial literacy part. And then they also do JA Biztown for sixth graders. So I think financial literacy is important. We got to start it from the root to tutor.
Okay.
Exactly.
Because I wish they was teaching
Yeah.
me that in
Mm.
school.
Oh,
But we did not have these
wait.
programs when we were growing up.
So y'all didn't have JA Biztown in school?
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
I had I had economics for the most part,
Yeah.
but that was
They was not
it
teaching us taxes and credit.
at all.
They was teaching us GOP. I don't need as an adult. I don't know what GOP is. Is that economics? I don't know.
You talk about with the government.
I don't know. They was teaching us something.
That's
It
the
wasn't
whole
clicking.
point, girl. We don't know what they was teaching us.
It wasn't
Couldn't tell you.
clicking. Mm-mm.
Now GDP,
Oh.
the
Oh.
is talking about the economics, the gross domestic product.
There
That
you go.
yes,
There you go. I don't know what that is either.
Let's get
okay,
into it though.
right. But I think it's important for us all to really take the time to learn about credit and learn about how credit has impacted our family because for sure for my family growing up, my mother going through credit cards and maxing them out, and then I ran into it with my mother twice in college where she got a credit card in my brother's name
Oh,
and used it. I got a credit card in my name and used it. So I was starting from scratch with Shotty's credit score, and I'm in college, and I was just like, "Girl, what do you want me to do with this?
exactly.
What am I supposed to do with this?" So
Exactly.
I think it's definitely important for us to understand how to escape from those generational
Mhm.
cycles and these curses that we are entrapped in for sure, and just educating ourselves the best way we can because they don't want us to know. They do not want us to know this information. They don't want us to better ourselves and understand that there are people that's going to continue to discriminate against you and not want you to better yourself, not want you to get a house, not want you to, invest in stocks and things of that nature. We have got to take back that control and start educating ourselves. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Speak on it, girl. Speak on it.
I wish I had some wine. I'm over here sipping on pineapple juice. Oh, water. Pineapple water.
And
I
Okay.
got I got a little bit
got
of
my
water.
lemon water.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh,
lemon.
okay.
Fancy. Hey G. Hey Sarah. Hey Bree. How y'all
Hey,
doing
hey, hey,
tonight?
hey,
Hey
hey.
Daria.
So I know Instagram like to cut us off, so I wrote down some notes to try to keep us on track.
Okay.
So I want you to kind of give your opinion. I know we started with credit. So what's your opinion on credit cards for somebody who's a 20 something years old and needs a credit card?
My opinion is most definitely looking into getting a Discover card. If you're in college, maybe a Discover student card. Even City has a nice card as well, where
Mm-hmm.
they'll start you off between 300 and 500, something that's manageable. Even with like secure cards, which you are putting your money up for a secure card, that's your money that you are banking on. Even if you're going to set it up like $300, $500, but that's money that you would have to pay back. So I think something where you could have an attainable goal where it's not astronomical, where you feel like if you did run into an emergency situation, oh my gosh, if I max this card out, I could actually pay this money back, where it's not like thousands of dollars where you just can't pay it back
Yeah.
if you did run into an emergency situation. And then also just keeping it to those minimum purchases, like especially like gas, groceries at times, and then things that you could just you can pay back on. Like I wouldn't say just jumping out the gate doing your car payment on it, because my car payment is almost $500. So I wouldn't do that, because you'll be basically maxing out your car, and you want to kind of stay between that 30% ratio of usage.
Yeah. Yeah. I know when I first started school, I want to say like my freshman year of school, my mom and I, we went to the bank. You know, I don't know much about credit. My mom doesn't know much about credit. My family as a
Right.
whole, like financial burdens have been passed along, and then it's up to us to kind of learn these things. So one of the first
Exactly.
things that she made sure I had was to have some stable credit to go off of. So we went to the bank my freshman year. I got myself a Wells Fargo student
Mm-hmm.
credit card. The limit was like $1,000.
They only gave me
Then
five.
they, baby, they gave the
What?
wrong person some money, honey.
What?
The wrong person some money, honey. But yeah, no, that was kind of how I started out, like jumping off my credit,
So wait,
and then like using.
with the Wells Fargo card, did you have to show them anything? Show them any
Oh
like bills or anything?
no,
Or
no,
no?
no, because I had been with Wells Fargo for a long time. I think at this point, I had my bank account for maybe going on 4 years at this point, and so I had like stable history with them. My family had been with Wells Fargo for a long time. We're currently no longer with them, but for my family had been with them for a long time. Uh, and yeah, so when I went to go get that credit card, it was something that I had already discussed with like a banker that I had known for some years now.
Did
Oh.
y'all leave Wells Fargo because they were selling accounts to dead people?
Wells
Wait,
Fargo was
it
doing
was
a lot of
what?
Wells Fargo was doing a lot of shady stuff that I ain't have nothing to
Nobody
deal
told
with.
me nothing.
You tell me. No, Wells
Cause child,
Fargo.
my credit card, my savings account, my debit card is Wells Fargo.
Yeah.
What? Yes, yes. A debt resolution company. Oh, look, there's an expert
Oh,
right there.
okay.
Oh, but
Put some
yes,
tips in the comments. Put some tips in the
Yes.
comments if you got any.
it was a whole documentary about how Wells Fargo was making bank accounts for people that were not alive anymore. And it was like a
Oh
whole lot of shady
wow.
things going on with Wells Fargo.
I did not
They
know
were
that.
creating all these fake accounts
Oh
for
my gosh.
people that, yeah, mm-hmm.
Child, anybody tell me nothing.
Mm-hmm.
They tell me that I ain't got not a piece of mail, nothing, not a text message, nothing. Mm. One thing I can say though, Wells Fargo has done me good. Fingers crossed, like, cause when them poor people, use my credit card information and was running it up, Wells Fargo shut it down immediately and gave my money back. Within an
Okay.
That's
hour
right.
of
Yeah.
me calling, the card was shut down. My money was given back. Like they do not play.
I
Yeah.
know that's right.
Mm. So I love me a little Wells Fargo. I was with them when they was Wachovia.
See, I've been loving them
Please,
since Wachovia days,
please.
and
Period.
I
I'm
was
one of the
really,
originals.
I was really loving them since Wachovia days.
I'm dead. I'm dead. So Ari, how what are some like healthy ways that you have built up your credit? Like, what are like key things that you can recognize that helps your credit along the way?
Um, Definitely paying a little more on my car note for
Mm-hmm.
sure. Because that helped decrease it. Or like it was going towards the principal, and then because I was decreased, like, and now my interest rate is like maybe like a two for my car.
Okay.
So that was really good. And having a good renter's history, being on time with my bills,
Yeah.
it just showed that I was really good with that. And then also paying a little more on my credit card, not just the minimum payments,
Yeah.
but a little more when I can. Um, and then not just trying to pay like in large lump sums, because I know sometimes like if you get your income tax, you want to just pay it all off, but
Yeah.
that's not good. That doesn't show that you can be consistent. You want to show the credit companies that you are going to be consistent, that you could pay, a bit here, a bit there, and you could pay a little more than what they're telling you to pay. And then also just keeping up the communication. If you fall behind, if you've been consistent with, hey, Kashawn.
Is this Fred in
Um,
the chat?
yes.
Hello.
Hello.
We love Fred.
Mm.
But being consistent in that too, and just communicating with them, because they're understanding too. I know I have had conversations with Discover, and it's just like, oh, I'm in between jobs right now. I know they've sent me like $100 check. They don't do that anymore, but also they'll send you a check for good grades and things of that nature. But just keeping that communication open with them, and they'll be patient and then set up plans that will work for you. Like they set up a plan with me to do a payment plan arrangement where I pay $75 a month, and then they match my $75 to get my payment down. But just keeping that communication open with them, and then just staying consistent for
Oh
sure.
wow, that's sweet. I would
Yeah.
have never known that. I would have never known that because I mean I'm communicative with my whoever I'm with, but never to the point where they sending me checks where they
Right.
Okay.
spend our money.
Yep.
So that is good information to know. Like these are people at the end of the day, and they know that people are struggling, especially in this economy. And a lot of these companies are working towards helping, like being helpful, wanting to create that good relationship with customers so that they can be in business for a long
Mhm.
time.
And if you're thinking about getting right, exactly. And if you think about getting credit cards, think about getting credit cards that have like rewards towards it, like cash back,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and they'll give you points for certain things. Like Citi would do that. You could use it towards Amazon. Your points add up, and you can use it towards different things. Even with like different trips, like City and American Airlines,
Mhm.
they work together. So using your points that way as well, just things that will help benefit you, and then making sure you're looking at those interest rates, because you don't want to get into something that has like a 30 something percent interest rate,
Oh
and
yeah,
that's just astronomical. And
yeah.
these interest fees add
Mm.
up, especially if you're like late on these payments. They add up, and it's
Yeah.
hard. So there's like, you're going from you're thinking you're paying $35, but you're not realizing these $35 is not doing anything for you. And that's just
Yeah,
why it's important to pay more than just the minimum payment.
yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
Even with my credit card, I do like the first of the month, I do a payment, and then right before the actual minimum payment date is due, I do another payment.
Mm.
Because what people don't
Right,
realize is, I mean, if you're gonna pay $500 already, just split it
Yeah.
up.
right.
Just you don't have to pay it all at once, and just get it down the best way you can. If you got a little extra cash, pay again. Like get that thing down the best way you can. Your Amex be hurting you.
Mm.
My little car hurting me too, child. Them people gave me a $6,000 credit limit. I said, why would y'all do that? ten
Why would
thousand,
y'all do that? Because you knew what I'm about to do.
Wow. What was you spending 10K
ten
on? Drop it
thousand. What
down.
were you doing?
Because you ain't buy us nothing.
We ain't got
We ain't
not a
got
He
card,
must
a
nothing.
be
cash
on a
Nothing.
flight.
app.
He must be taking flight.
J16 done came and went.
We ain't
Where
trying.
is it at? Where the
Not a lick of
10K
that 10,000.
at?
Flights. He must be spending on the flights.
Is
He
that,
gotta be spending on the flights.
I don't
You
even
don't
know.
know. That's even worse. That's
That's
even
even
worse.
worse.
So you just
You just
spend the money
swiping
just to
that
spend it.
card.
Swipe.
Ari
Ari got something.
okay, moving on.
I
Next
did
part. So,
not get a thing.
moving on. Let's
I was
bring
just
back
about to
in.
say he must be swiping on booty cracks, and he's talking about Are you
Child,
not
we is not
getting
getting monetized on YouTube.
Mm-mm.
YouTube gonna say absolutely not. Maybe next video.
Mm-mm.
But let's reel it back in. This one is messy here in the comments.
okay?
Jeez.
But I do want to talk about the importance of savings.
Mm-hmm.
So, child, you would think it's easy, but it's really not because you see that money and you like, oh, I got money. And I have to tell myself, no, you don't have money.
Yeah.
You go based off what's in your check and you don't look at that savings.
Yeah.
So
Please.
I have to trick myself into thinking that, but I have like an automatic payment thing. Every time I get paid, a certain amount of money go to my savings. I don't touch it. I don't look at it. Like I only pull from it if necessary. And I think a lot of us,
Pay
we just don't realize
save.
how important it is to say. It's
It's
important. So, what
important
are
for
some of
sure.
y'all saving techniques, if you have any?
I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm not the person for you.
Honesty is the first step.
I think the
Okay.
first step, y'all. If y'all got some savings tips, let me know. Leave it in the comments. Your girl is surviving on a hope and a dream.
A
Okay.
hope
Okay,
and a
in
prayer
the
for
grace of
sure.
God.
I
Okay.
definitely think it's hard to save, especially in this economic climate for sure. It's especially when these city
Mm,
bills is beating your girl down to the flow, down to the so it's really, really difficult because it's just like budgeting and all the money is going to the
mm,
bills. All the money is going. So, and then it's just like, who, Lord, saving, maybe not eating out.
yeah.
But then it's just like groceries is high too. So you might have to starve a little to save a little.
Mm,
And that's how I feel too because, um,
That,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
smart,
yeah.
Gene.
That's
that's
very
very
smart,
smart.
Gene. Because then you don't want to tell yourself, well, you got this money over there, girl. Take it out. Take it
Mm,
out. Because once you start pulling from the savings, you
Before you
just
know
put
it,
you
it's
outside.
$0.
Exactly. And I say I started small. I would say, okay, this paycheck, excuse me, then that probably got me burping. Anyway, this paycheck, I'll take $50 out or $75 out and just go straight to my checking account. Then if I even got a little more discipline, I know especially when I worked at Concentric, I made sure I had some going out from one account into the next account where I wasn't touching it. So my savings was definitely going to build up. But like now, I wanted to just be more disciplined and in charge of my things and be like, okay, go ahead and let's see all the accounts and then just stop touching it and move
yeah.
money over. And you gotta tell yourself, you broke. You can't do that.
Ex-
You
Got
Exactly.
to.
you
Exactly.
broke. I'm sorry, like girl, like
Mhm.
and it's okay and it's all right. And I think that's definitely where I started like seeing more of my savings grow. I really want to try putting the envelope, doing the envelope thing and
Mm,
seeing how that works.
No, ma'am.
Um, but I'm not about to
Because
take
if
no
I
I
have
got the budget
cash, I'm
planner.
going to spend it.
Yeah.
exactly. I be hot for
Yeah.
cash,
I can't keep cash.
but I hate having cash anyways.
Yeah.
I hate having
Yeah.
cash.
I got the budget planner like when it was going viral, and that was really helpful as far as like me being able to see every single thing like that was going out of my account, because sometimes you don't even realize stuff is coming in, is coming out. Where's the money? Is it like sometimes you're not even aware of it because you're just like, I see money,
Right.
I'm gonna spend it. At
Yeah.
least that's the case for me. And so just being able to like clearly see what I am doing and what I am spending it on. If you got all these extra subscriptions, you might need to download something like Rocket Money. And Rocket Money will tell you everything that's coming out of that account. It'll tell you
Yeah.
everything that's coming out of the account. If it's a subscription, they'll cancel it for you. Stuff like that. And this is no advertisement. Rocket Money. Contradict.
You better get
They
that
need to
Because
girl.
sponsor us.
this
Get the
we not this
girl.
ain't no free advertising. I'm just letting y'all know. That if it is a concern of yours about what is exactly coming out your account, like download some of these free apps and see what you have going on for real. You'll be surprised that you forgot about your yoga subscription from 2022
Exactly.
or your gym membership from
Just come,
2019.
just coming out.
Y'all ain't seen no gym. Y'all don't even know what that gym look like.
Please. The gym done closed down. They still taking
Did
your
you
money and you ain't know it.
know that is still taking your money? Exactly. And I would definitely say that too. I think I only have one streaming subscription, and I was on TikTok one time and I saw she said download Event Manager and it has a bunch of free movies, TV shows. So I've been living my life on Event Manager.
Mm.
It's free, so Baddies East and stuff you can
Oh, period.
watch. Um,
Type that in the comments so I can pin that.
yeah, Event Manager. But I have this app, this banking app called Vero, and if you consistently keep money in the okay, if you consistently keep money in your account, it adds money, or in your savings, it adds money to your savings. If you consistently keep a certain amount in your savings, it'll do like a 5 to 7% bonus interest to your account. So they definitely help you save there, and then whatever changes you have from like your spending from your checking account, they add that to your savings as well, so your savings continues to grow. And so sometimes I see like $7, $10 in my extra from just having money in my savings account with Vero. So Vero is actually a pretty good app, and it helps identify your spending habits, and then it gives you other tips where you can find other ways to get money as well.
Mhm.
Period.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the time, y'all. Time just be gone when you're having a good time, ain't it?
Yeah.
Okay. So we got 10 more minutes on this topic, roughly 10 more minutes, but I want to cover this last thing. So like living in your means. I think that's just very important in general with financial literacy, because with social media, we see our homegirls going here, there, and there, but you don't know what your homegirl did to get that money to go there.
Hello.
Okay? So you need to mind yours and live in your means and stop trying to live in her means.
How
How
about
about that?
how about
So I really think it's important that in this day and age, especially us 20 somethings, we need to live in our means,
yeah.
because, honey, social media will put you in debt if you
Mhm.
keep on trying to follow her and her and her
Yeah.
and him.
And him. Yeah, I just saw this post before and it was basically talking about, you know how like when you go out and you want to buy something new every single time you want to go out, and then you want to document, then you want to do all these things. And I remember like thinking that, and I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I'll be re-wearing the mess out of a good fit now. I'll be wearing it.
Okay.
You know, and it's little stuff like that. Like you don't have to buy something new every single time you step foot out this house. Every time you want to go hang out with your friends, y'all don't have to spend $200 at the club. Y'all can go have y'all a nice little dinner at the Applebee's. Okay.
I love me a good old Applebee's margarita.
Okay. All right. Good little girl time and a good little girl chat. And
Mhm.
that's all you need. Okay. Your real friends will be there for you through the highs, the ups, the middles, the downs, the lows. Y'all don't need to do everything in the third every single time you step out your house, because outside is expensive, y'all.
Very.
Outside is expensive. Ooh,
Outside is
it's so
expensive.
expensive
It's
for no reason.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
But then too, like, I mean, I think everybody's in this era where we're like, we want to see the world, we want to
Yeah.
travel. I love to travel. But please believe I'm traveling in my means. These trips are not expensive, y'all. First of all, I plan in advance. So that gives me time. And I do payment plans because I go through a travel agent.
Yeah.
So if the trip is $3,000, $4,000, I'm not dishing that out within a week. Like this is over the course of 6, 7 months, maybe even a year. Like that's very doable. So that's, for me, that's what I would consider living in my means. I can go where she went, but I'm gonna pay less over time. Still have my bills paid because I'm not going out of town and my bills ain't
Yeah.
paid.
Yeah.
Because I'm not having a good time. Nobody's having a good time at this point.
Exactly.
Because this bill is due. So just finding things. First of all, this ain't real, but it's cute.
But
And
it's
I got it from
cute.
DH Gate. All of my
But
designer
it
is
look real.
DH Gate. Like, you gotta do it. If you want to look a certain way, live a certain way, do certain things, You don't have to do it at full price.
Mm-hmm.
Do the
Hello.
research. Do what you need to
Yeah.
do. And I mean, it's really that simple.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you're not walking in your truth right now, how do you feel like you're going to be blessed in the long term, or you're going to be receiving these blessings in the long term if you're not trying to set foot first in your truth right now? And it is okay. It's okay to ball out on a budget in your means, because you don't know what God has set for you in the future. And you watching what somebody else is doing, you don't know their journey. You don't know what they had to sell, to do, to lay down, to get to that. And it's okay that you have to walk and crawl to be able to run. I don't mind. I want to go on a lot of trips. But I know that this rent need to be paid as well. And child, like, so I gotta pinch, and find a trip there. And if you just need to do like a little staycation, so going somewhere new, or going like a couple hours a day trip and coming back where you don't gotta spend money on like an Airbnb or a hotel, do that. And you're still traveling, you're still getting out and doing new experiences. They didn't do that, but you're doing this. And you never know what gems that you're gonna find in doing this small time traveling, where you don't have to be like the Joneses. Because being like the Joneses to get you tripped up and out on the streets
Okay.
with your hand out with a sign up or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, we definitely got to start living on our means, and stop comparing ourselves to social media and get
Yeah.
real with ourselves. Like, I'm not them. My 20 something is a different journey for a reason.
Yeah.
And it's okay, because I can bask in this season and be so humble and know that in the future, when I do make it to there, where I could be in Turks and Caicos whenever I want to, I could be in Belize and all this stuff. I could be, by the water wherever I want to be, not at a regular job. It's going to be beneficial because I went on a journey that I needed to travel down.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Is
So we
Exactly.
definitely need to start walking our truth and being okay
Yes,
with that.
exactly. Jean, my travel agent, her name is Natalie Lewis. Getaway to remember at gmail.com. I'll probably put it in the description of this video when I repost it, and I can also send you the details. But we also have someone who follows our page. It is my good homegirl from high school. She's a travel agent, so let's support our young black queens.
Mhm.
I believe it's SB Voyages. I tried to tag her page, but I guess because she's not currently in the chat, it's not letting me. But if you just go through our follower list, you will see it. Her name is Selena Bowers. And she's a travel girl. That girl be seeing the world. So I would definitely trust her to book my trip, and I actually might consider using her for the next trip that I want to do. So check that out as well.
Okay.
But
Okay.
yes, so we got 2 minutes left. Ari, we thank you so much. Is there anything else you want to sprinkle on to us before we
Want
go
to
on to
say
our
to the
next topic?
people, tell us where we're doing nails at. Tell us more about your business,
Hmm.
about how we can elevate you on this platform.
That part.
Okay. In addition to doing your own research and getting multiple opinions, um, don't bask in your ignorance. Educate that ignorance, and it's okay to not know things and ask questions. Um, But yeah, I do nails at Lacquered Up Nails on Wilmington Island off of Johnny Mercer Boulevard. You can catch me there during the week after 3 o'clock. And then on the weekends whenever it's needed. Yeah, so I can't wait to collab with others and keep growing. Your hair just looks so long every time I see you, Denise. It's just,
It's
I
literally
can't wait.
growing every day.
It's
It's literally.
like,
She's
like,
Rapunzel.
hey, it's like, Lord, please let down your hair. Lord, give me some mercy.
I was
And it's
talking
been
to
like three
somebody the
years
other
or 4 years.
night. I said, I just gotta leave this head alone from now. I keep doing the ponytails, and baby, I'm trying to have these locks for a long, long time. So
Hmm.
It's been 4 years
it's
or 3 years.
been four.
Okay, okay. Yeah. Oh my goodness. I can't wait to see where like your tenure look like.
Then,
The lot's gonna be stretching.
Girl, they gonna be scrubbing the
uh,
ground, child.
I'm cutting them, not cutting them off, but like
Like
snipping.
trimming them.
Yeah,
Mm,
because
Okay.
I don't. First of all, I don't even really like long hair.
girls,
Are they
It,
heavy on you?
especially in the
yeah,
summer.
especially in the summer. Are they are heavy. I ain't gonna lie. They are a little heavy. They are a little heavy, and I already got a big head, so it ain't working out in my favor, y'all.
Oh, wow. Well, I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a great night. Thank y'all for letting me join and talk a little bit. Y'all be
Yes.
blessed. Have a great
Thank
week too, by the
Thank
way.
you.
you
You
for
too,
joining
girl. Love
us.
Love you.
ya.
Love
Bye.
you. Bye.
Bye. So exciting.
I know. Y'all, give it up for my
Give it
girl, Ari.
up for Ari.
Yes, y'all. Okay. I hope that whoever was here for that wonderful conversation, that y'all got some good tips. Y'all got some good tricks. Y'all learned, where we can get the nails done, how we can get some travel done this year. I hope y'all are paying attention.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So, girl, let's go on to the next part. First of all, why are my dogs tap, 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 and tiptoeing in here? They supposed to be in bed. That's what I'm talking about. Anyways, the next topic is I call it adult teenager.
Mm-hmm.
So what I mean by that is even though I'm adult, I still feel
Yeah.
like a kid. Like
Oh.
it's crazy that we are today's
Yeah.
adults because I remember being like in elementary school looking at my teacher and I'm thinking, oh, she's such a grown lady. And as an adult now, I'm like, she probably was like the age that I am now.
Exactly.
And she's probably thinking, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm here.
Exactly. Figuring it out day by day
Day by
as we are doing right
day.
now. Mm-mm.
Yes. So it's just weird. It's a weird concept
Yeah.
because I mean, first of all, I've been out of high school for I think almost 10 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty
Going
much.
on 10 years. And
Yeah.
I'm like, hold on. Wait a minute. Cause I feel like I just graduated
I
yesterday.
do feel like that. I do feel like sometimes I'll be thinking like, oh yeah, I used to be girl, that was 10 years ago. 10 years.
A whole decade.
A whole decade ago. Like, where has the time gone, y'all? I feel like the years are flying
Literally.
by, especially after COVID. The years are flying by. Take me back
Mm,
to 2020, y'all. Please.
please. Little did we know our life was gonna change forever.
Exactly. Okay. We're in textbooks,
Literally.
y'all.
We're so much has happened in our generation. Starting from 9/11
Hmm.
all the way down to COVID, like we are going to be the next generation's history book.
Exactly. The
I'm gonna
whole
be in my
thing.
rocking chair telling my grandkids, I remember.
I remember when we was fighting over toilet paper.
We was fighting over toilet paper and water. Why were we
And
fighting over toilet paper? I understand the water, but what's up with
what?
toilet paper?
Toilet paper,
Were we
y'all?
gonna eat
What?
it? Like, what was going on here? What was the thought process?
And it's
I'm not
still,
understanding.
I still see videos of like hoarders during that time talking about, I still have toilet paper.
Why?
I wonder why you still have toilet
Our
paper.
president was throwing paper towels at the rallies to people, and the people, what is this like? What is going on here? This cannot be real. We're
This
being
is real
exposed.
life, y'all. This is real life, y'all. Unfortunate for us, this is real life.
This
Mm-mm.
it was insane. It was
Yeah.
insane time,
But I feel
but
you on that, like feeling like, and I feel like the older you get, you realize that no one really has anything really figured out. You could be 50 and still not have things figured out.
okay.
But we look at adults and we give them the type of respect that, they have wisdom. They have gone through these struggles. They have done these things. And then you get to this age and it's like, okay, you do it again, and you do it again, and you do it again. And how do we,
Girl,
how,
make it make
why?
sense.
Make it make sense. Make it make sense. I still quite haven't figured it out. And even as far as like our situation right now, like we're both adults, as one would say, as one would classify us. A freaking 10-year-old would say I'm in my 50s. Okay.
That part.
But we're adults, but we're at home right now. And so
Hmm.
it's kind of like even taking that outsider look, like I didn't think my 20s would look like this.
Hmm.
This is not what I planned. There was really no plan, but this is not what I planned.
Hmm.
Because when I was 18 years old, I was saying, oh, by the time I'm 22, I'm going to be graduated. By the time I'm 25, I'm going to be in my career. By the time I'm 27, I'm going to be married. By the time I'm 30, I'm going to have my kids. Baby, I'm 27 now.
Girl, I just finished school not too long ago.
I'm 27 now. Not
It's not
a
adding
man,
up.
not a career, okay.
Career,
Not man.
yes.
Career, yes. Not a man, not a marriage, not a child in sight. Not even in
Nothing.
a thought bubble.
Hello. Like, there's really no rule book. And I think for us too is weird. Like, it's not like we never had that experience of having our own homes. Like, we lived on our own, we did the
Yeah.
thing, not fun.
Yeah.
It was fun,
Yeah.
but it was not fun.
Yeah.
Like, it was great having your own space, but when the first of the month came around, I was like, okay, light bill due, water bill due, rent due. Like, come on, this is too much. And then moving into my first apartment, I think I was like, I moved in the day before my 23rd birthday,
Mhm.
maybe, or something like that. I'm
Yeah.
like, ooh, I'm grown. Girl, didn't know what I was doing. Talking about paying
Mm,
rent. Huh?
mm,
I
mm.
haven't paid a bill in my life at that point, to be
Exactly.
honest. I was blessed to not have to worry about bills. Then I'm talking about something, yeah, I'm 23. I'm a big girl. I don't know what I'm doing.
First of all, electric company, gas company. Who?
First of all,
What?
I thought that came with the apartment. I didn't know you had to call in advance. Tell my son, I'm about to be moving to this apartment. This is my apartment number. What you mean I gotta pay an application fee for the apartment? Why am I paying y'all? Y'all might not even approve me. And you're taking my
Exactly.
money? Like,
Exactly.
it's just stuff like that. I was like, this cannot be
Yeah.
real. Nobody told me this.
Nobody prepared you for this. And even in that conversation, still, it's like I'll look back and I'm like, my parents really, they did a wonderful job raising me. I have loving parents who still support me beyond any measure right now.
Mhm.
But they did not set me up for like success. They didn't give me the right thing to do, but who knows the right thing to do? So
That
I
part.
guess that kind of answers that, because like who knows the right thing to say, to do, how to live, whatever the
Hmm.
case may be. But I feel like I wasn't set up properly. Like even as far as like credit, even as far as like financial burdens being passed down, like nobody prepared me for any of this. And
Yeah.
I don't get it's always, oh well, that's just life.
But I don't want it to be.
That's just life. That's just life. And then we hit the Generation Z, and now we're asking questions like, why is this life? Why are we going through these things? Why do we have to struggle at a job to get minimum pay to pay for an apartment that's 3 inches long? You know,
Yeah.
not like, why do we have to do this?
Yeah.
So
Make it make sense.
please,
That's the
somebody
quote for the live. Make it make sense.
make it make sense, y'all. Make it make
Cause it's
sense,
not
y'all.
clicking,
Yeah,
Steven.
it's not clicking at all.
Mm-mm.
But you know what? I will say, especially like us being adult teenagers, us being people who made the decision to move back home, even after we had multiple conversations, like I would never move back home. I
Right.
would never do this. I would never live with a roommate. And here we are living
Girl.
in that. First of all, don't ever say never out your mouth, because I promise you it's gonna
Cause
happen.
God gonna humble you real quick. He gonna
Y'all
say,
gonna
oh,
agree.
watch this. Blink.
Exactly. Exactly. Don't ever say never
Mama,
out your
I
mouth,
gotta
because I
move
promise.
in with you. My lease end in May.
Exactly.
And I don't have nowhere to go.
That never gonna never real bad in a couple years.
Yeah.
Okay. But I think for me, I know a lot of people when they move back home, they get this sense of like failure. They get this sense of like, either they're not going to get out this situation, or they can't figure out how they got in this situation. And I think for me, it was kind of like the opposite. I found enlightenment in my move back home, because I knew that it was a time, I felt in my spirit that it was a time where I needed to like reflect, where I needed to take a moment, take a pause, take a respite, like to figure out, what am I doing with this life? And I'm blessed to have people in my life who wanted to support me, blessed to have family who could be there for me in that capacity. I know a lot of people don't have those same opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I never thought of it as a bad situation. You would
Yeah.
think that moving back home, you'd be like, oh man, this is the end. Everything's going to, but it was really a moment for me to really, I don't want to say like like saving is a whole other conversation. But
Right.
this is right. It's a whole other conversation. But I think this was a moment for me to like pick the things that I needed to focus on, to figure out like how did I get myself into this situation? Getting back into therapy, picking up things that I like to do. Now that my big glaring issues of like bills,
Hmm.
electric bills, rent and things were not at the forefront of my issues now. So how do we move past it? How do we grow from this situation? Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. I think for me, it was a little similar, but it also humbled me because though I have a mom and a dad and grandparents who would do anything for me, they would move mountains for me. I told myself, like, I don't want to ask nobody for help. I want to do things on my own. Like, my years of living on my own, I've never asked somebody to help me with a bill, with a rent payment, nothing. I might have been sitting in that place, bills paid, with no food in my refrigerator, but I did it on my own. But
Exactly.
it necessarily doesn't have to be that way. So moving back home was a humbling experience because I had to ask my mom, like, can I move in with you? She could have said, girl, no, figure it out.
Yeah.
And I had other places to go, so it would have still worked out for me, but she let me come back. And it kind of forced me to humble myself and say it's okay to need help, especially from your
Yeah.
parents. It's not like
Exactly.
I'm asking a stranger, it's literally my mom.
Yeah.
And then just being in this space with her is also making me appreciate independence because you know me, I was having living room parties every night with my wine, like having a good time. And now it's like I can't necessarily do that because I have to consider the fact my mom, she might have had a rough day. She don't want to hear all that
Yeah.
noise. Okay. Like so now I'm just like confided in this room and it's
Yeah.
like this is not what I'm used to. I'm used to having my own space, but yet it's still humbling because I'm able to take the time to do things that I probably wouldn't be able to focus on if I had rent and other bills. I'm back in therapy as well. I'm
Yeah.
able to focus on my career. It's a great career. I love it, but it does not pay that much for me
Mhm.
to afford to live on my own. So if I was living on my own and working this career, I probably wouldn't enjoy my career as much. So it's giving me the space to enjoy or focus on more
Yeah.
important things.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's definitely a blessing in disguise. We don't plan to be here much longer though.
Yeah. For sure. For sure.
But it is a blessing in disguise, and it was definitely needed because I think we both had that conversation. We felt like I think we were sitting by the pool this night. We were like, we just feel like we need to go
Yeah.
home. Like even though I was still living in the same city as my family, and you weren't, I still felt like I need to physically go home where my family is and live with my family.
Yeah.
And you kind of had that same like revelation yourself.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, because I feel like it's like connecting the family is so important, and you get so far away from it the older you get because we do develop this hyper sense of independence, and
mhm,
we don't need them, and even if you are talking to them like a majority of the time, like you're not necessarily going in depth with it, like we don't connect because we're not in close proximity with
mhm,
them any longer. So I found, especially for me, I found that I was like straying away from my family, and so that's why it was really important for me to be home so that I can connect, so that I can understand my parents, my lineage, my ancestors better, um during this time of me figuring my life out.
yeah,
Of me figuring out what is my next step, what is my next chapter, what am I doing with my life. Like, let's start from the very beginning, all over again.
exactly.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that kind of makes me think about how we're always like we're so
Mm-hmm.
unserious. Girl, my mom, she's 50 years old. She's definitely an adult. She's unserious.
Yeah.
So it just kind of gives me comfort that as we grow older, we never get serious. We
Yeah.
just get wiser.
Yeah. We get
Cause
more
she
clarity in our unseriousness. Yeah.
exactly. Cause she even talks about like when she had me, she got pregnant at 23, had me at 24. Girl, I could never imagine, first of all. And she was like, the whole birthing process, pregnancy to birthing was so traumatic for her. She's like, first of all, it still to her now, it feels like a dream because it's like, first of all, this thing invaded your body.
Mhm.
Then it came out of you, and now you have to take care of it.
For the rest
You're
of your life.
forced for the rest of your life, you're forced to do for this being. And she's just like, that whole process was just so unserious to her because she's like, what? What do you mean I'm a mother? What do you mean this person is calling me mama and following me foot to foot? Who is she? I don't know her.
This stranger in my
Like I
stomach.
don't know this stranger and I have to do for her
Yeah.
what? So it's just like I think of stuff like that, like me when I become a mother. I don't know who this baby is, but I guess we for lifers.
When
We in this thing for the
when
okay. My
Okay.
little stranger, my little broke best friend, I guess.
That's your broke bestie.
I guess she cool or whatever.
Guess I like her, whatever.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, and that's why I'm like big on wait as long as you possibly need to have a child. Like even when I was young, I was not yearning for no child, and y'all can ask anybody that. Y'all can ask anybody. I've never changed my views, y'all.
No.
I am not yearning for no baby,
Girl,
okay?
I go back and
Because I knew
forth.
one thing for sure: the life I had to live growing up with a
Mm,
single mother who was dating and things like that. Like I never want to put my child, if I can help it, I never want to put my child through that. I want to
yeah.
be able to provide as best for my children, for whoever comes after me, the best way I know how, the best way that I can. And I know right now in this 27-year-old body, um, yeah, she's
Mm-mm.
making the cut for me. She ain't making the cut for them. she ain't
Okay.
making the she is not making the cut for them, okay? And I'm not about to bring anybody in this world um knowing I can't do the best I possibly can for them.
Yeah,
Mm.
absolutely. And I was raised by single mothers, but I mean, my father was definitely involved. But as far as like who I lived with, majority of the time, it was my mother. She was a single mother dating. I remember going on dates with her because she didn't have a babysitter, but she had to secure the bag and the meal and the man. So she's like, "Look, I got a baby,
And
and she coming,
the baby getting fed,
and you feeding
okay?
the baby too."
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just sitting there having a good old time. I don't know what's going on. Okay, but I don't want that for my kid. Like, granted, I've always wanted kids. I don't want a baby right now, but if I ended up pregnant, I would be happy low key because I know that's something I always wanted. But then I would immediately be sad because it's like, I'm not married. I want my children to grow up in a two-parent home with parents that actually love each other and want to be with each other and made you out of love. I don't want it to be a oops baby.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I was with this man and you happened. Like, no, like, I want it to be a house of love. Like, babies made on purpose, them seeing their parents just love on each other because that's going to be healthy for them as they become adults.
Exactly.
Hopefully, I can only
Hopefully.
hope.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's too much. And like I said, I still feel like a kid. So I feel like whenever I do become pregnant, I'm going to be scared to tell everybody because it's going to be a teenage pregnancy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like, what do you mean I'm pregnant? This is not supposed to happen.
I'll still ask somebody my age, like, you sure you
Right.
wanna
Like, do you want to do this?
gonna
And I have friends who have babies, and their babies, first of all, the kids are hilarious. I
do
love
it?
those kids, okay? But it's like, it was a struggle for my friends. They were young moms, they had their baby fathers, help to the best of their ability, and that's great
Yeah.
for them. But still, it's like, we have conversations, and they'll say, girl, wait. I love my baby. My baby is a blessing, but wait if you can, because it's certain
Yeah.
things I could do. And I say, hey, girl, you want to do such and such? Oh, I gotta find a babysitter. And it's like, now I feel bad because I felt like I was kind of being selfish and asking you. I didn't think, hey, she has a baby. How about you ask her ahead of time instead of just all
Yeah.
of a sudden? Things like that. It's just, it's a lot. And
It,
we have no rule book to this adult thing. We're just winging it
yeah.
as we go along.
Yeah. I agree. I
Yeah.
agree. So I'm as far as baby thing, y'all don't gotta ask me. Okay. The lady in the woods already predicted I'm having my child at 32. Okay,
Period.
so catch me.
And that sounds like a good
Catch me at 32.
time.
That sounds like a great time, actually. It sounds like I might have a second to get this life thing together, or at least get somewhere with it.
Absolutely.
Hopefully
Yeah.
I'll be in another state, pursuing my dreams. And that's
Exactly.
that's all. I want my child to see me pursue my dreams. I want my child to see everything that I know I am going to be in this life, because I'm not going to stop going after it, even if I have to start over every single
Mhm.
day. Like I'm not going to stop going after it, and I want my child to witness that. I want my child to live in it, to relish in it. I want my child to be as spoiled as they possibly can be.
Exactly.
Okay, and spoiled doesn't mean money. Spoiled can be spoiled in love. Spoiled can be spoiled in nurturing. Okay. I don't ever want my child to ever feel unsafe in an environment. I don't ever want to put my child in the care of people, because I have to out of
Mhm.
necessity. And not because I planned for this,
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of these like traumatic situations happen when children, for one, they getting stuck in front of the TV. You know, we grew up in front of the TV, we grew up in front of the iPad, we grew up in front of this, that,
Mm-hmm.
and the third, in people's houses who we barely knew. And then wonder why 10, 15, 20 years later, 85% of the world is in
Yeah.
therapy. Yeah,
Like seriously. And I think that puts a struggle on the parents. Like my mom, she was like, "Oh no, I'm not trusting nobody but my own mother to watch my child." So that put a strain on her because she couldn't do certain things she wanted to do as a young intern, 20 something years old.
exactly.
She couldn't do it because if it wasn't her mama watching me, she ain't she ain't budging. She'd just
Yeah,
tell her homegirls, "I
yeah,
can't go. I'm sorry." And now she deprived herself of her golden years. I feel like our 20s are our golden years. Like it's the time to be
yeah,
selfish. Like, it's the time to do what you want and not have to worry about nobody else.
yeah,
Just take care of you, do what you want to do, live your life and make memories, because I can promise you when I hit 30, I'm not going to look back at my 20s and say, "Dang, I wish I could have did this." I'm going to do every single thing that I wanted to do in my 20s so that when I hit my 30s, that next decade is going to be about, okay, now we had the fun and now it's time for the business. Like now it's time to live in who you're supposed to be,
yeah,
prepared to be that wife, that mother, prepare to be the person that starts the generational wealth. Like that's what my 30s is going to be about. My 20s, I'm young and
yeah.
turning. I'm
Young
out here.
turn,
Okay.
young turn until further notice.
Period.
Okay, y'all. When we start our official podcast, that's gonna be the name.
Yeah.
Okay, check us on.
Young and
We
turning.
changed the name on Instagram, y'all. So if you ever see the name change, just know you heard it here first. Because
Okay.
we young and turn until further notice,
Period.
y'all. Period.
That part.
Okay, that part.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm actually be young and turn until the day I die. So I'm
Literally.
not this
I'm
joint.
be 99 years old talking about some young and turn. Because I'm still
Exactly.
walking.
That exactly. I woke up today. I'm young. I'm turning.
It's like, oh my goodness. And then too, like with being home, let me check the time. Okay, we got like 8 minutes.
Hmm.
But like with feeling like a teenager still, I even had talks with my grandmother, and she's like at that point where she's like, okay, it's kind of looking like more years behind me than ahead of me type thing. And she's
Yeah.
like, but it's not a depressing thing. She enjoyed her life, but she was like, the years flew
Yeah.
by. Like she remembers being a young girl in the house with her brothers and her parents, and now like all her brothers, they've gone on, her parents have gone on, it's just her, and she's like, all of that happened so fast to her, even though technically it's been like a span of what, 60 something years, 70 something years. To
Mhm.
her it felt like it was just yesterday. She was living in the house with her parents and her brothers. So even I think no matter how old we get, we're still gonna feel like
Yeah.
little kids. We're still gonna feel like life just flew by. But I think the important thing is just to make the best of every day, every year, every minute. So when you look back, you're not depressed. So when you're old and wrinkled, you're not sad that you have more years behind you than ahead of you, because those years behind you were just full of blessings and
Yeah.
greatness. So
And to that point is living in your purpose, y'all. If you don't know what it is, I completely understand that. But just like Ari said before she left, like don't be afraid of the ignorance. Go out there and figure out what you are here for.
mhm,
Go out there and search for what you are doing in this life and how you can be um of some help to somebody else, like, because somebody needs to see you do the things that you're meant to do.
absolutely.
Some child, some young black girl, some young black boy needs to see you living in your purpose so that they can do the same thing. And so when you are taking in these moments, right, you're taking in these moments and you're sitting there and you're like, dang, I haven't started this or I haven't started that. Well, the longer you wait, the more the more you're gonna be in that waiting period, and you'll have less time to live in what you're meant to do on this earth. I'm trying to live as much as possible in my purpose on this earth.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And I think
like
the thing that gets me by is I always say it's a blessing to be a blessing. No matter what you do, every day you need to be a blessing to
yeah,
someone else, not just yourself. Don't just take in the blessings,
yeah,
be a blessing to someone else. It could be something as simple as seeing someone and complimenting their hair. You don't know. They might have been self-conscious about their hair color,
Mhm.
but you said it looks beautiful and now you made their whole day.
Exactly.
Like that might be their staple now. Now they're just gonna stick with that hair color or whatever it is. So it's something
Yeah.
simple that you can do to be a blessing to other people. But I just feel like we always need to make the world a better place. Like
Exactly.
that's what I feel like my
Yeah.
purpose is. My purpose is to help people. If I'm not helping people, I'm not happy. Like
Mhm.
I went through a period, I think I went like the longest I went without helping somebody was a month. And I was wondering why I was just feeling so low vibrational. And I'm like, because girl, you haven't done nothing good.
Exactly.
And you're wondering why things are not happening for you because you're not doing nothing for nobody else. So why should you receive a blessing if you're not being a blessing? So I had
Yeah.
to get
Good
myself
counsel
back into that. Yeah, absolutely.
too. Yeah. No, for okay, yeah, good, good. No, I just had this funny story that one of my coworkers told me earlier. So she was telling me she worked at this crystal shop, right? And she was like, "Girl, you would be surprised. I have like witnessed so many crazy things. You would be surprised, like what having good energy, how many rooms it can open up for you, how many opportunities it can bring you, when you have good energy and you pass that good energy on to others." And she was basically like, this one girl had came into the crystal shop. It was something she really, really, really wanted. It was like $450. She was like, girl, I ain't got the money for it, but if anything changes, here's my number, let me know. That very same day, somebody walked in. They were just looking at the thing that she was just interested in. The coworker had mentioned, open the door to the opportunity. Mention it to the lady, like, hey, I had somebody come in earlier. They said they couldn't afford it. The lady was like, oh, I would love to buy it for
That's amazing. That would make me cry. Like that's tear worthy.
and called her back immediately. Like, you would never guess what happened. But y'all, she knew that was gonna happen. She knew that she was living in good spirits. She knew that she was doing the right things to make the right things happen for her. She
Absolutely.
had no doubt. She had no doubt.
Yeah.
When she got that call, she was like, I
Yeah.
felt it. And sometimes you have to welcome those blessings. Like, you can't, you have to welcome it. You have to be that kind of vessel to take it all in.
Absolutely.
Cause the more you put out, the more it's gonna come into you.
Hmm. Yeah. I think that's something that even as a kid, I've always felt like you just have to claim it. I didn't know then what it was, but as I became an adult and started figuring out what spirituality really was and how it really resonated with me, I just know you have to claim
Yeah.
things. Like if your dream car is a Maserati. Every time you see a Maserati, touch and agree. That will be mine one
Mhm.
day. And it doesn't even have to be materialistic things. It could just be you living a stress-free life and not having to live check to check. Claim it.
Claim it.
Like claim
Say it out
it. Just
loud.
say it out loud. Wake up every morning, go to bed every night saying, I am debt free. I
Yeah.
am happy. I am living in my truth. I am blessed. I am a magnet for greatness. Like little things like that. Because once you say it so much, you're going to start to believe
Yeah.
it. And when you believe it, it's going to just start happening. And you're not even going to realize it until one day you can be like, wait a minute.
Hmm.
I see a pattern
Exactly.
here. Okay. This is working.
Yeah.
Like
And it's
it's
not even right. And even in that manifestation, like, it's all about intention. You're saying it every single day, which means that when you're remembering it, and it's at the very front of your mind. So every single day you could be working towards that, because every single day you wake up and say, I'm living debt free. Okay, I'm living debt free. Let me go ahead and put a little extra toward my credit card. Let me go ahead and figure out what programs I need to download so I can figure out what's coming in and out of my checking and my savings account, because you're thinking about it on a daily basis, and it's going to come into fruition.
exactly. Oh, girl, we got 1 minute left. So let me just end with this. If you don't put in the work, you can do all the prayer you want to, but you have to put the work into it with the
Amen.
faith.
Yeah.
And with that, I really thank y'all for kicking it with us tonight. It was a
Yeah.
blessing. It was great. As always, sister, I love you. We have the best talks
I love
ever.
you so much, girl.
So
Thank you, Ari,
we'll
so
see
much for
y'all.
joining us
Yes. Thank you,
today.
Ari, Queen Ari. Okay. Thank y'all so much. We'll see y'all same place, same time next
Excellent.
week. All
Love
right. Bye.
you. Bye.